When people give us the work, then only we'll come to know that are we capable of doing it or are we not capable of doing it. Unity of command, one person is your boss, right? So you should report to that only one person. So each and every individual will have one person as the boss, so unity of command should be there. Whatever you are doing, in that you are the best, nobody can touch you. That is called self-actualization. Hello everybody, a warm welcome to one and all. I'm Vidhyaashram from the Department of Commerce and Management in Vidhyaashram PU College, the Temple of Excellence. Welcome to all the students for the revision of the 7th chapter, that is directing. Now what exactly directing is all about? And in this chapter, you will be expecting a 8-mark question plus a 4-mark question. That means this chapter is very important. So when we go with this topic called as directing, a very simple definition, simple meaning I'll be giving it to you. The very simple is, now when we go with the topics here, I'll be covering introduction, meaning, importance, supervision is also there. See, this is called the elements of directing, that is supervision. Maslow need of hierarchy, it's a POQ question where you will be getting a 5 marks question from this chapter. If a POQ comes from this chapter, Maslow theory is a 5-mark question. Leadership style, communication. See here, directing is there, no? Supervision. Then you have here motivation, then leadership, then communication. All these are the elements of directing. And then the last topic which we're gonna go here, there is difference between formal and informal communication, which can actually come for 8 marks. Now we also have a question called as the barriers to communication, how to overcome the barriers of communication. Even those are the questions which can come for 8 marks. So we're going to start with the very simple meaning of directing. Directing in the ordinary sense, directing means giving instructions and guiding people in doing work. So here basically what happens is, you have a manager. Now the manager will give directions. To whom? To the supervisor level or anybody who is subordinate to the manager. And the supervisor will give the directions to the other person who is again subordinate to him. So here what happens is, these are the top level people who will actually give direction, instruction, motivation, supervision, everything to the subordinates. And those subordinates will get the work done whichever the manager has given. So that is how the directing will work. So here, next topic which we're gonna go is the importance of directing. Now I have given you a few of the importance. This question can come for 4 marks. Now importance of directing is, directing helps to initiate action. Now somebody gives you a verdict saying that you are supposed to do something like this. Now direction will give you what? The action, the initiation of action by people in the organization towards attainment of desired objective, whichever the objective is, right? We need to get or we need to meet that objective, and that is how efficiently as well as effectively we are supposed to go with that. Directing integrates employees' efforts in the organization in such a way that every individual effort contributes to the organizational performance. So whatever you do, you are supposed to work out so that the organization objective is met and your performance should also enhance. Directing guides employees to fully realize their potential. See, whenever we do any work, we need to give our best. That is what F.W. Taylor also says, that is development of each and every individual to his or her greatest efficiency. Like that, when people give us the work, then only we'll come to know that are we capable of doing it or are we not capable of doing it. So here what happens is, directing will actually give you the ability as well as capacity to get motivated, plus giving people the motivational speech. and providing effective leadership. So these are the importance of directing. Now I've given you 2 here extra. Whenever you get a 4-mark question, please do not write only 4 points. You are supposed to write 5 points. So I've given you here 5 points. Directing facilitates the introduction of neat changes in the organization. Effective directing helps to bring stability and balance in the organization. So here, very nutshell, if I need to explain it to you what exactly directing is, it's all about guiding, then motivating, and next supervising, right? Supervising. After that, see, guiding, motivating, supervising, and there are few things which you should understand is giving instruction. So when they give instruction, they are the people who need to guide. When the task is very difficult, the person who is guiding, he should motivate. And while motivating, he should see to it that the person, whoever is doing the work, is right or wrong. So supervision should be there. So all these combining, guiding, motivating, supervising. The organizational objective is to get it done, right? So who will do it? All these 3, you are supposed to do it to the employees. Now when you do this to the employees, this process is called directing. And then what is the end result is? The end result is the organizational goal will be achieved very easily with efficient way of working. Next is principles of directing. See, this principles of directing is a sure question. So please do study this question. The reason being is, if we already know that the questions which gonna come and if we get prepared for it, no, so it will be very easy for us to write in the examination. So the principles are maximum individual contribution. So first principle of directing is what? The employee should do the maximum work. Harmony of objective. Now whenever we are doing, we should have that harmony bond, the brotherhood bond should be there. Unity of command. One person is your boss, right? So you should report to that only one person. So each and every individual will have one person has the boss. So unity of command should be there. Appropriateness of directing technique. Now you are supposed to go with a beautiful technique of directing. You should not confuse anybody whenever you go with directing. Managerial communication. See, communication is very important when it comes to directing. Use of informal organization. See, whenever we are in an organization, automatically formal organization is set, but day-to-day activities after it is done, now we happens to be informal, and the organization where we are working, people becomes our friend or the family kind of a treatment is given. That is when it is very useful, because see, if I am not there to do it, somebody else will be there and he'll do it. Leadership should be there and follow through should be there. So you need to take care till the end result is met. Next is elements of directing. As I told you in the starting only, the elements, there are 4 elements of directing. First is supervision, second is motivation, third is communication, and fourth one is leadership. So here I'm going to explain you something very interesting, that is the Maslow theory. See, Maslow theory is a POQ question, practical oriented question. Whenever you get a question saying that explain or list out the Maslow theory, bring the outcome of the Maslow theory, you are supposed to go with this. So today I'm going to give you a brief introduction about this person who's called A.H. Maslow, that is Abraham Harold Maslow. So in his 1943 title, where he had written the motivation theory, which is very famous, even if you people go to join any of degree courses or master degree courses, you will actually see this person. Maslow theory is very, very important. Today I'm going to teach you this Maslow theory in a very easy format. What exactly happens is, he says and he talks about a theory which is called the basic need theory or Maslow's hierarchical theory. So here what happens is, why is that people work is a question. What motivates them to work? So he has given us the 5 steps. Now Maslow theory always starts from the base. So that is here, the first one, second one, third, fourth, and the fifth. So there are 5 tiers. The first one, why people usually work, is to satisfy their physiological needs, a need which is the basic of the basic. It's like roti, kapda, makan. It is like food, water, shelter. So here the physiological needs. People work only to get that on a regular basis, right? So this is physiological. After that, they go to the next level, that is called safety need. That means after I am getting food, shelter, clothing, now I want it regularly. So safe, I should be safe. I should not have any harm, right? I need to live peacefully. Safety. After safety, the people they go with the next one. See, human needs are always what? More. So after they get saturated with one of the need, then they go with the next need. So here after safety, they go with social needs. Social needs in the sense, now they want people to be there. See now example here. When I never had anything, nobody was there with me. When I have everything, now people are with me. That is what the need theory says, right? So here when physiological, he did not even had roti, kapda, makan, nobody was there. Then he got it regularly, that is a safety need. Now after that he gets saturated, he wants more. So when he wants more, now people are there. Why? Because he has a lot of money. After social need also, when it gets saturated, right? Now people feel that I need to go to the next level. They don't want to come down, they want to go up. That is why it is called hierarchical need, right? When it is the hierarchical need, after social, esteem. Esteem means now little kind of a show off, right? Now people want to show that I have a house, I have a bungalow, I have a very big car. See, the word esteem is there, right? Esteem. You people would have heard about this esteem car, where this Maruti Suzuki launched it. The word esteem means very big. So now people want to show that to the entire world that now we have a lot of money. After that, again, this also they get saturated, and then they go with the last one called as self-actualization. So here self-actualization in the sense, very simple it is. Whatever you are doing, in that you are the best, nobody can touch you. That is called self-actualization. Say Ambani, right? Mukesh Ambani is there. People talk about Mukesh Ambani, reason is self-actualization. Now that is where the saturation point is. After that, Master says that is the end of any need. So here the first is physiological, second is safety, third is social, then it comes esteem, and the last one is your self-actualization. So here I've given you an example, now organization example, how people motivate us. First, basic salary, then they're gonna tell you about the pension plan also, right? Future plans, then cordial relation with colleagues, job title, achievement of goals. So this is what organizational goals are. Now individual example is hunger, because of hunger he'll start working. Stability of income, now he gets a lot of money. Then friendship is there, status is there, then self-fulfillment. So see here, hunger, physiology, stability of income, safety. Now friendship in the sense what? Now it is social need, status, esteem need, self-fulfillment, self-actualization. This is the example of Maslow theory. Now next one we go with the topic called communication. Now what exactly the communication means is very simple. There should be at least two people, right? Now one person is a sender, another person is a receiver. So what the sender sends to the receiver need to understand in the same sense, and then he should reply it back. So that is called the communication. So that is what communication is. That sometimes when you people go with the conversation, you talk, there will be not a proper communication. We always say there is a miscommunication. The reason is what the sender says, the receiver need to understand in the same sense, and the receiver need to tell the sender that he has got the message. And the sender, now whoever gets the message, right, or who takes the message, he should understand what the receiver had actually said. That's a complete process of communication. So communication plays key role in the success of a manager. Directing abilities of the manager mainly depends upon his communication skills. The word communication has derived from the Latin word, so very old word it is, the Latin word communis, which means common, which consequently implies common understanding. So whenever we have a communication problem, that means somewhere the other person couldn't understand what you wanted to communicate. Next is elements of communication process. Now who all will come, I'll just tell you. The first one is a sender. he will actually see, I'll show it to you here. So this is a sender, receiver, right? Now communication, how it happens is, a sender is there. So this is done. Now sender sends a message. Now message is here. Now the message is done. Now it should get encoded. Encoded by whom? By the receiver, right? But here what happens, there is a medium, that is a media. Now decoding should happen. Who will decode? The receiver will decode it. And the receiver is here, receiver. After that, the receiver need to give feedback. What he should give? Feedback. The feedback should not have more noise, right? If more noise is there, communication problem. The noise in the sense, there should be a clarity. It can be verbal, it can be non-verbal. Whatever the receiver will, after then he'll give the feedback. No, it can be verbal as well as it can be non-verbal. No issues. Importance of communication, this can come for 4 marks. Acts as a basis of coordination. So to have a better coordination, you should have better communication. Helps in smooth working of an organization as well as enterprises. Acts as basis of decision making. Increase managerial efficiency. Promotes cooperation and industrial peace. See, many of the unions, right, the trade unions are there. There are so many workers. If you don't communicate properly to them, that will lead to a chaos. So that's why what happens is, you need to have proper communication. Only then you can have industrial peace. It establishes effective leadership. Now, there are few people who are like born leader. The reason is through their communication, how they communicate it to the people, right? So that is what establishes effective leadership. Boost morale and provides motivation to the employee. So whenever the person is not motivated, a very good communication will definitely motivate the employee. So these are the importance of communication. Now next, when we go with the formal communication and informal communication, I told you that it can actually come for 8 marks. Differences is given in the video sessions which I have done earlier also. I'll put it in the link which session you are supposed to watch, then you can actually get back to it. So formal communication flows through official channel designed on the organization chart. This communication may take place between a superior and a subordinate. See, whenever this formal happens, no, here there is A, here there is a person called B, C. When channel happens is, the communication will flow from the top to the bottom and it goes from the bottom to the top, right? Without any problem. So proper communication will be there. A, if he need to communicate to C, he will communicate through B and B will tell to C. Now C will give a feedback about it. That is how the communication happens. Now in formal communication, what happens is, it is all about the vertical and the horizontal. So formal communication may be further classified as vertical and horizontal. Vertical communication flows vertically, that is upward or downward, through formal channels. Now communication network, I'll give it to you here. Now there are these chain, wheel, circular, free flow, inverted V. I have done this in a different session which I'm going to provide a link for you people so that you can easily watch it. Go to the Vidhyaashram channel, subscribe it if you have not subscribed, and then what is that you should do is press the bell icon. Now wherever the notification comes, you will actually get the videos of all AC sir. Now when you go to the Vidhyaashram channel, go to the playlist. There you need to scroll down and come to business studies with AC sir. Now business studies AC sir, I have done 127 videos. You can actually come, click, everything is in the order. The first day to the 127th day, you people can take this. Informal communication. Now what is informal? Now formal means vertical, horizontal, it happens, right? But in informal, how it happens is, communication that takes place without flowing the formal lines of communication is said to be informal communication. Like friends, it goes everywhere, right? Grapevine communication is there, right? That is the informal communication. Informal system of communication is generally referred as grapevine communication. Why? Because it can go everywhere. So there is no proper channel. There is a disregard in the organizational communication, and that is where the levels of authority will be harmed. That is what informal organization communication process which take place. Now next here, when we go with grapevine network, it can come for a 2-mark question. So grapevine communication may flow different types of network. In single strand network, each person communicate to the other in sequence. In gossip network, each person communicate with all on non-selective basis. So this is the biggest difference of the formal communication and informal communication. Now the barriers to communication, there are barriers. Now when you communicate with each other, the problem what happens is, because of something, the communication will not be proper. So what are the barriers? First is semantic barriers, personal barriers, psychological barriers, and then organizational barriers. So these are the 4 topics which can come for 8 marks. Improving communication effectively. How can you improve the barriers or overcome the barriers? Clarify the ideas before communication. You need to understand what is that you need to communicate. Communicate according to the need of receiver. Now the receiver doesn't want to listen. You are not supposed to communicate. When he wants to listen it, then when you tell him, you should not make him bored. Consult others before communicating. Convey things of help and value to the listener. Ensure proper feedback. Follow-up communication. Be a good listener. Communicate for present as well as future. So these are the techniques how you can improve communication. Thank you so much. If any doubts you have, students, please let me know. I'll be there to help you throughout your examination. Thank you. I'll see you when I see you.